Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Naruttamam Devim Sarasating Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirai Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nittang Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 9, text 44. Tasma idam Bhagavatam Puranam Dashalakshanam Proktam Bhagavata Praha Pritaha Putraya Bhutakri. Tasma idam Bhagavatam Puranam Dashalakshanam Proktam Bhagavata Praha Prita Putraya Bhutakri. Tasma idam Bhagavatam Puranam Dashalakshanam Proktam Bhagavata Praha Pritaha Putraya Bhutakri. Tasma idam Bhagavatam Puranam Dashalakshanam Proktam Bhagavata Praha Prita Putraya Bhutakri. Tasmai, thereupon, idam, this, Bhagavatam, the glories of the Lord, or the science of the Lord. Puranam, Vedic supplement. Dashalakshanam, 10 characteristics. Proktam, described. Bhagavata, by the personality of Godhead. Praha, said. Pritaha, in satisfaction. Putraya, unto the Son. Bhutakrit, the creator of the universe. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Thereupon, the supplementary Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, which was described by the personality of Godhead and which contains 10 characteristics, was told with satisfaction by the Father Brahma to his son Narada. Please repeat after me. Thereupon, the supplementary Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, which was described by the personality of Godhead and which contains 10 characteristics, was told with satisfaction by the Father Brahma to his son Narada. So the meaning is clear. Tasmai idam Bhagavatam Puranam Dashalakshanam Proktam Bhagavata Praha Pritaha Putraya Bhutakrit. Who is Bhutakrit? Very good. The creator of the universe is Brahma, and Putraya means unto the son, Narada. Brahma told his son Narada. Why did Brahma tell Narada? Pritaha. Very good. Pritaha means being satisfied. Brahma, being satisfied by his son Narada, told him Srimad Bhagavatam. And what is Srimad Bhagavatam?
The science of God.
Yes.
Or glorification of the God.
Glorification of God, not the God. There is only one God, Krishna. Glorification of God. Tasma idam Bhagavatam. This Bhagavatam. Tasmai means
For that reason.
For that reason. Thereupon. After that, because of that, Brahma, the father, spoke this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a Purana. Idam Bhagavatam Puranam. Puranam means the Vedic supplement, which is Dashalakshanam, which has 10 characteristics. The 10 characteristics, what are those 10 characteristics?
Sthanam Pushanamutaya Manantara Ishwanyu Katha Nirodha Muktirashaya.
Very good. Very good. So these are the 10 symptoms. So Dashalakshanam, Bhagavatam, along with 10 characteristics, was described, which was spoken by Bhagavata, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. Which was described by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then He imparted this knowledge to His son Narada when he was satisfied by his inquiry and behavior. So, a bona fide spiritual master imparts the knowledge unto a qualified candidate. Qualified candidates, what does it actually mean, qualified candidate? Qualified candidate actually means the candidate or the person who is able to receive it. Able to receive it. Like, if you know that somebody cannot carry more than 5 kilos, will you give him 10 kilos to carry? If you do, then what will happen? Either he won't be able to carry or he'll break his back. Right? So that is the qualification. That whether he is able to receive Srimad Bhagavatam, whether he is able to receive this knowledge. Although he wants to give this knowledge to everybody, but at the same time he sees whether one is able to receive this knowledge. That is the qualification of a qualified teacher. And what is the qualification to receive this Srimad Bhagavatam? That has been described at the very beginning. At the very beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it has been described. And what is that qualification? Parama Nirmatsaranam Satam. One must become completely free from envy. Otherwise, he will not be able to carry this wisdom. He will not be able to properly receive this wisdom. Nirmat Saranam means, the Nirmat Saranam ultimately, although Nirmat Saranam generally means becoming free from envy, but actually it means becoming completely free from all material attachments. This Nirmat Saranam is the symptom of becoming completely free from all material attachments. If we have material attachments, we will not be able to be non-envious. Envy will be there. Because material attachment is exemplified, or material attachment is manifested in these 6 enemies of our spiritual progress. Material attachment is the impediment to our spiritual progress. And this material attachment is exemplified or manifested in these 6 sararipus: Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mad and Matsarya. Material attachment leads to lust, Kam. It is due to the material attachment that we want to enjoy the objects of the material nature. It is due to material attachment that anger becomes manifest. It's due to material attachment that we develop greed. It is due to material attachment that we become illusioned. It is due to material attachment that we become proud, and it is due to material attachment that we become envious. But when one is free from envy, nirmatsar, then he is free from all material attachments. When you are free from material attachments, then only we are able to receive Srimad Bhagavatam, which actually qualifies us to go back to the spiritual sky. That is what Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for. And in this respect, an example can be considered. A boat, in order to move in water, it has to first pull its anchor. If the anchor is stuck to the ground, will the boat be able to move? No. So material attachment is the anchor to this material nature. So if we want to get out of the material nature, if we want to go to the spiritual world, what do we have to do? We have to pull the anchor first. So now just to be free from material attachment is not enough. What is the other thing, other requirement, other qualification? Is to be submissive, is to be respectful. And that has been described in Bhagavad Gita. What is the qualification of an eligible candidate for receiving spiritual knowledge? Yes. Tad viddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Pranipatena, we must be submissive. This pranipat, pranam, obeisances, dandavat, what does it mean? It means I'm submitting myself to you. Submission. So the student must be submissive to the teacher. Pranipatena. Pariprashnena, he should be inquisitive. He should be curious to know about that. And sevaya, he must serve him. The student must serve the teacher. And this service is an expression of his love to the teacher, for the teacher. Now that is the difference between the Chatushvan and Narada. They all are Brahma's son. But what happened with Chatushvan? Did Brahma give Srimad Bhagavatam to the Chatushvan? No, he didn't give it to the 4 Kumaras. He did not give it to Shanak, Sanatan, Sanandan and Sanat Kumar. He gave them something. What did they give? What did he give them? He gave them Gyanakanda section of the Vedas. They were detached. They didn't want to have anything to do with the material nature. But because they were not submissive, because they were defiant, because they thought that they knew everything, because they thought that they didn't have anything to learn from Brahma, Brahma was angry. Actually, we see that instead of being compassionate and merciful towards them, Brahma was angry with them. So that is the difference. Whereas Narada was detached, but at the same time he was submissive to his father. And he was inquisitive. Father, who are you meditating on? So please tell me, there must be somebody who is greater than you. All along I used to think that you are the greatest, but now I can see that there's somebody who is greater than you. Who is that personality? And then Brahma gave Narada the knowledge. So that is the qualification of a recipient of Srimad Bhagavatam. So purport: by His divine grace, Srila Prabhupada, although the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken in 4 verses, so all of you remember these 4 verses? Very good. Those who don't remember, make it a point to remember. Meditate upon these 4 verses. You need to meditate on Krishna, and this is a nice way to meditate upon Krishna. Meditate upon these 4 verses. What's the first word of the first verse? Very good. What's the first word of the second verse? Rite. What's the first word of the third verse? Yatha. What's the first word of the 4th verse? Very good. So, at least you can see this way, when you remember the first words of the verses, you'll be able to remember. The 4th verse, what's the first word? If you can remember, then you will see how the rest of it, at least good part of it, will come back to you. So try to memorize it from time to time. Try to think of it. What's the first word of the first verse? What's the first word of the second verse? What's the first word of the second line of the first verse? And then you see if you can remember that. What's the first word of the second line of the first verse? Very good. Good. So in this way you'll see memorizing will become easy. It'll come. Once you memorize it, it'll just flow. Like for example, about Sarva Dharman Parityaja, do you have to think of it? Because you have memorized it through practice in such a way, it just comes straight away. You don't have to make an effort now, right? What is the first word? It just comes. Similarly, man mana bhava mad bhakta mad jaji man namaskara comes straight away. Tesham shatata yuktanam. So, it comes due to practice. So although Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken in 4 verses, it had 10 characteristics which will be explained in the next chapter. So Purana, generally a Puran must be endowed with 10 symptoms or 10 characteristics. Dasha Lakshanam. Dash means 10, Lakshana means characteristics. What are those characteristics? Ganganarayan just mentioned. That is actually the first verse of the next chapter. Atra Sarga Vishargascha Sthanam Poshanam Utaya Manvantara Ishanu Katha Nirodha Muktir Ashraya. So Sarga means creation of the universe. Visarga means sub-creation. So Puran must have these 10 lakshanas, 10 symptoms, 10 characteristics. Puran must describe creation. Puran must describe secondary creation. Visarga. Then sthanam. Sthanam means place, but here the sthanam means the planetary system, the place for the living entities. The planetary systems. Then poshanam, maintenance. So how the universe is maintained, how the creation is maintained. Utaya means the creative impetus. Everybody has a creative impetus. Everybody wants to create something, do something. Utaya. Then Manvantara. Manvantara means the change of the manus, a reign of the manus. This is the reign of which manu? This is this is the reign of Vaivashyata Manu. Vaivashyata Manu, why he is Vaivashyata Manu? Because he is the son of sun god Vivashva. Vaivashyata Manu. Imam Vivashyati Yogam Proktavan Aham Abhayam Vivashwan Manavipraha. Vivashwan spoke to Manu. So this is the Vaivashyata Manvantara. Which is the first Manvantara? There are how many Manus are there in a day of Brahma? 14. There are 14 Manus. And the first of all Manus was Swayambhuva Manu, the son of Brahma. Swayambhu. Manvantara Ishanu Katha. Isha Anukatha, the signs of God. Nirodha, going back home, back to Godhead. Mukti, liberation. And Ashrayaha, Samambonam, sum total. So these are the Dashalakshanam. So although Krishna spoke 4 verses, but to Brahma, although this is the 4 verses of the root, but these 4 verses contain these 10 symptoms. And it was elaborated. So Krishna, here we can see, he speaks about creation, because he is aham eva sam eva agre. So I was there before anything was created. So who is the creator? The ultimate creator is Krishna. Nanna jad sad asat param. Nanna jad sad asat param, meaning when there was no Sat and Asat, the cause and effect was not. Even not only the creation, the cause and effect also was not manifested. Nanna jad sad asad param paschadaham. Even at the end of the creation, jo avashisheta, what remains is me. So, in this way, we can see that in these 3 verses, all the 10 symptoms are manifested. Although one can say, well, they are not elaborately explained. Like, where is Manvantar here? Where is Ishanukatha? Where is Mukti? Where is Utayaha? Where is Poshanam? Poshanam is there. He is saying that he maintains everything. Ritearthang jat pratiyeta. So everything that exists without him is mine. So the material nature is again very simply exemplified. What is Maya? What is material? That is without Krishna. So now plug the material into Krishna, what will happen? It will become spiritualized. So that's what the devotees are supposed to do. They are just plugging everything to Krishna. Prabhupada used to use the expression of dovetailing. Dovetailing. Same meaning. Connected to Krishna. If you connect it to Krishna, then what will happen? You connect it to Krishna, it will be spiritualized. Just connect the light to the main power station, electric supply, what will happen? It will be electrified. In the 4 verses, it is first said that the Lord existed before the creation, and thus the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam includes the Vedanta aphorism, Janmadasya. Vedanta aphorism, the first, not the first, it's actually the second aphorism. Janmadasya Jataha in the Vedanta Sutra. Second aphorism is Janmadasya Jataha. Everything, Janmadasya is the beginning, yet the 4 verses in which it is said that the Lord is the root of everything that be, beginning from the creation up to the supreme abode of the Lord, naturally explain the 10 characteristics. Prabhupada is pointing out, naturally explain these 10 characteristics, because it is from Janmadasya to his abode. Where is his abode? His abode is the topmost region of the spiritual sky. So if you take it from creation to that, then it naturally covers everything. So, Lord is the root of everything that be, beginning from the creation up to the supreme abode of the Lord, naturally explain the 10 characteristics. One should not misunderstand by wrong interpretation that the Lord spoke only 4 verses and therefore all the rest of the 17,994 verses are useless. The 10 characteristics, as will be explained in the next chapter, require so many verses just to explain them properly. Brahmaji had also advised Narad previously that he should expand the idea he had heard from Brahmaji. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed this to Srila Rupa Goswami in a nutshell. But the disciple Rupa Goswami expanded this very elaborately, and the same subject was further expanded by Jiva Goswami and even further by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. We are just trying to follow the footsteps of all these authorities. So Srimad Bhagavatam is not like ordinary fiction or mundane literature. It is unlimited in strength, and however one may expand it according to one's own ability, Bhagavatam still cannot be finished by such expansions. Srimad Bhagavatam, being the sound representation of the Lord, is simultaneously explained in 4 verses and in 4 billion verses, all the same, inasmuch as the Lord is smaller than the atom and bigger than the unlimited sky. Such is the potency of Srimad Bhagavatam. Although Srimad Bhagavatam has been explained in just 4 verses, but Prabhupada is saying that it can be expanded into 4 billion verses. Still Bhagavatam will not be complete. So that is the meaning of Bhagavatam being non-different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is Anoroniyan Mahato Muhiyan. He is smaller than the smallest and he is bigger than the biggest. So Srimad Bhagavatam is like that. It can be explained more and more, elaborated more and more and more, but still it will remain ever expandable. So this is Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is the process that one should receive Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, the qualification as it has been explained here, what is the qualification to receive Srimad Bhagavatam? Pritaya. No, not Pritaya, but Pritaha. Pritaha. When the spiritual master is pleased, then Putraya, he gives it to his son or disciple. So we say that every day, every morning. Jassa prasadat Bhagavat prasad. That prasad and prita is similar. So when one is pleased, what happens? He gives prasad. Prasad, the word prasad and prasanna, ebang prasanna manuso. Prasanna means pleased. Pritaha means pleased. And when one is pleased, then what he gives is prasad. When Krishna is pleased with us, he gives us prasad. When Krishna is not pleased with us, then Krishna gives us food. That's the difference. When we serve him and he is pleased, we get prasad. Otherwise, everyone is getting. But that is not prasad, that is food. When we get prasad, we develop spiritually. When we get food, we develop materially. So that is the difference between prasad and non-prasad. So pritaya, proktam, being pleased, he spoke, which is the prasad. Jasya prasadat Bhagavat prasad. And how does that prasad become manifest? Dibbogyan hriday prakashita. That prasad becomes prakash, where? In the heart. Prakashita becomes manifest. And it works. This is a science, this is a natural process. Where spiritual master never tells, you try to please me, then only you'll get it. No. He doesn't say, he doesn't even consider that. He is not so much concerned about getting this sevaya, etc. He is not so much concerned about pranipatena. But this is how the process works. That is how one has to act, and the result will be there. Prabhupada never told us, offer obeisances to me. Never. And as Sitaram was mentioning in the class the other day, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when somebody offered him obeisances, he used to say, Dashoshmi, I am the servant. I am the servant of my spiritual master. On his behalf I am doing whatever I am doing. So this offering, the obeisances that you are offering, is actually due to my spiritual master, because I am his servant. And that is the attitude of a saintly personality. He doesn't demand anything. He is simply concerned about rendering service to his spiritual master. But the disciple's business is to just hold on to his spiritual master, by hook or by crook. This is called the Markat Nyaya. Markat means a monkey. And what does a baby monkey do? The baby monkey holds on to the mother monkey. And the mother monkey jumps from one tree to another. And he's safe. He holds on to his mother. So disciple's business is to just hold on to the spiritual master. And the rest will happen. So this is how the spiritual potency or the spiritual reality acts. Follow the process and it will act. Just like we notice, we take the plug and just put it in the socket. It works, right? We don't really have to go into all these elaborate arrangements of bring the electric supply, power line, and make all the arrangements. No, simple process, just get connected to the socket and the rest will happen, the light will be there. So that is our process, just get somehow connected to the socket. Just occurred to me, it's an interesting thing to note. The plug has what? 3 pins, right? And what are those 3 pins? Pranipatena, pariprashnena, sevaya. It'll work. And what will happen? Dibbogyan hridaya prakashita. The transcendental light will be there in the heart. The heart will become lit up. Heart looks like a bulb also, doesn't it? The shape of a heart is somewhat like a bulb. So you put the plug in the socket and the transcendental light, Dibbogyan, will be there. So that's the difference between Srimad Bhagavatam and other literatures, mundane literatures. Mundane literatures are like fictions or such things, novel fiction. They're all fictions, fictitious. But Srimad Bhagavatam is the absolute truth. Transcendental sound vibration coming down from the spiritual sky. And you receive it properly, you'll become connected to the spiritual sky. People cannot properly understand. The other day one gentleman came to meet me, and he was telling that nowadays everybody is speaking Bhagavatam. Why they are speaking Bhagavatam? They are speaking Bhagavatam because it's an easy way of earning some money. People like to hear Bhagavatam. This also we must see. Previously people are not speaking Bhagavatam. They were speaking mostly Mahabharata or Ramayana, etc. They would give this. But why all of a sudden Bhagavatam became so popular? Because of ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada promoted Bhagavatam all over the world, and we are seeing the result now. Recently I was in Vrindavan. Every corner there is this poster, Bhagavad Katha by such and such person. So many Bhagavad Kathas. And why do they do that? Why are they speaking on Bhagavatam all of a sudden? Because Bhagavatam has become popular. People are realizing the importance of Bhagavatam. But they do not know. They understand the importance of Bhagavatam, but they do not know how to receive that Bhagavatam. Actually, we are not boasting. The real understanding of Bhagavatam is being broadcasted by ISKCON. But these people are not interested to hear Bhagavatam from ISKCON devotees. They will listen to some Bhagavatam from some joker or at the most an actor. They love to hear Bhagavatam from some joker. 25,000, 30,000 people go to hear the tamasa of Bhagavatam. Tamasa in the name of Bhagavatam. And what happens? Some will, sometimes they will laugh. Oh, kitna bada tamasa tha. And when this actor will sometimes cry, they also will cry. But then they'll go home, start drinking tea, smoking their cigarette, eating their meat. No change of heart. Because they went to see a tamasha, just as they go to see a movie. They go to see a movie, pay some money. Does it change their life? Does a movie change their life? No. But what happens when you hear Bhagavatam from ISKCON? What happens? Your material life is finished. So if you want to finish your material life, then come listen to Bhagavatam. In real Bhagavatam, from the true Bhagavatam speakers, the devotees of ISKCON. And the devotees of ISKCON are actually concerned only about that. Changing their lives, not just earning some money. In order to earn money, we don't have to recite Bhagavatam. There are many other ways of earning money. There is no dearth of money in this world. Prabhupada used to say, money is flying everywhere. Just catch it. You have to know how to catch it. And use it in Krishna's service, Krishna will give. You try to serve Krishna, Lakshmi Devi will give money with her 4 hands. And you won't be able to catch with your 2 hands. You won't be able to collect properly with your 2 hands. So why should we just go out and make a tamasha in the name of Srimad Bhagavatam? Just to earn a few rupees. Bhagavatam is meant to revolutionize our life. Revolutionize our life. Our life will be completely changed. What kind of revolution? From matter to spirit. from materialistic life to spiritual life. That should be the goal of Srimad Bhagavatam. And we are seeing it's happening. It's happening. And if it doesn't happen, then we must see that something is wrong in our practice. Maybe the fuse is off, fuse is blown. That's where the current is not passing. In the plug, there is a fuse. If the fuse is blown, what will happen? Will the current pass? No. So rectify those defects. If Bhagavatam is not altering your life, if Bhagavatam is not changing your life, then try to detect what is wrong. And you will see the wrong is, the defect is lying in there. Pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Either you are not surrendered enough, either you are not sincere enough to understand the subject matter, or you are not pleasing the teacher who is imparting the knowledge to you. The connection is lost. When a fuse is blown, what actually happens? Fuse is blown means the current is not passing. It's just the fuse is through which the current is passing. So rectify the fuse. Let the current flow through these three simple things. Pranipatena, pariprashnena, sevaya. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande Hare. Does anybody have any question?
You have that a complete Bhagavatam master 10 characteristics. And Lord Krishna imparted Bhagavatam to Brahma with 4 verses. And you made the point yourself that maybe Ishwakatham like this is not mentioned in these 4 verses. So, I could not understand how you...
Yeah, Prabhupada is saying in the purport, when from creation to the ultimate abode of the Lord, if you cover from this point to that point, does it cover everything? It is there. All 10 points are actually, 10 characteristics are there in this 4 words. In simple way to see is that if it covers everything, it covers everything. Right? From beginning till end. If it covers, so it covers everything. But when you go deep, then we can see. Like when we are seeing, say for example, aham, just take the first verse. Aham eva samevakve. Nanna jat sad asat param. So creation, before creation, so what is, it's implying to creation, right? And creation automatically is including, that cause and effect, sat and asat. So that is covering the principal creation or sarga and secondary creation, visarga. It is also covering sthanam, poshanam, udaya, manvantar, ishanukatha, because these all are actually the words about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is how we can see that these 4 verses are covering everything. And then we can see, ultimately, it is samam bonam. What is the samam bonam? The samam bonam is etavadeva jigyasa. Up to this is the ultimate samam bonam. Tattva jigyasa natmana. And how? Annaya bhatireka bham jatsat sarvatra sarvada. Yes, Sitaram.
Our entire experience of hellish punishments or whatever happened in our past lives is deleted when we enter into this life by the covering of Maya. Is this so that Hadvidi Pranipatana remains intact and that we search out the Supreme in this particular life? Because if we were to remember some aspects of it, it might rekindle our flame much more easily.
I didn't get the question.
In our past lives, we have suffered so much. But in this life, we have no memory of that suffering. But if there was some kind of jatismari about, what we have been through, wouldn't the living entity be awakened much more easier and suffering decrease much more rather than increase as it is now?
You see, Krishna, actually this material existence, to become separated from Krishna is so painful. That's why Krishna just put a covering of forgetfulness. Because if we consider the pain, we won't be able to survive. Just consider the pain of birth, right? Therefore this forgetfulness is there. You're going through it, but forgetting. Similarly, the pain of death. Even the pain for the mother's pain of childbirth. Like I heard somebody was telling that she understood what it is like to die. Because the pain of childbirth is like the death pain, experience of death pain. But then they forget, and then the next moment they get indulge in sex life again. They don't learn. So this is what the material nature is like. But ultimately we must remember not out of pain. Remember Krishna not out of pain, but out of love. That's the ultimate consideration. The pain, see, you receive the pain and then it comes to a point, then you black out, right? Because it cannot take that pain anymore, so he blacks out, loses his consciousness. And but the main point is to remember that we have to, that's why the pain is not going to give us the real impetus for spiritual enlightenment. If it does, then it will be misdirected. That's the problem with Buddhism. The whole philosophy is based on pain, suffering. The suffering condition is not the real impetus for our spiritual progress or spiritual affiliation. Our main purpose of our spiritual affiliation should be love and joy. And that's the difference between other processes and Krishna consciousness. Yes, suffering, and that's why when you take to Krishna consciousness, no suffering. Suffering is there. So what?
And I suppose we see that in the example of Pingala, who due to her intense suffering simply gave it up and surrendered, and at that moment she attained complete peace. And that's why Krishna quotes her example to Srimad to give an example of just how to give it all up instantly, and she changed immediately.
Yeah, but the ultimate consideration is, pain is actually directing you. Like, say for example, the pain is actually there to guide you not to go in the wrong direction. Stay on the line. But if you stay on the line, then what will happen? It will lead you to the world of joy. That's the difference between devotion and impersonalism and voidism. Both are actually, they're caught up with the suffering condition of this world. We are suffering, that's why let's get out of this material nature. We are suffering, that's why let's destroy our existence. Right? But the thing is that our existence has a higher purpose. That higher purpose is to become engaged in that loving relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and derive the transcendental bliss.
He says maybe why the modern day religions like Christianity, who are God-fearing,
Right.
not God-loving,
That's
but actually attaining the bliss.
Because they don't have any information about joy. Okay, Hare Krishna, all glories.